What is up, guys? How's it going? My name's Jackal, and welcome back to the channel. You see the name of the video. You know what we're here for. We're here for Zeldies! We're here for my boy. We're here for Link, the man in green, the man with the Visine. No, that's me. Actually, no, I don't have Visine. That's a lie. Don't believe me. But yeah, let's see. Last time I was falling asleep while I was playing this game, while I did the second dungeon. And I'm not going to lie, like, I do remember doing the second dungeon. And I do remember recording the video. But there's, like, moments where you'll see me, like, running into walls for, like, small periods of time. Or very clearly making mistakes. Just because I am zonking out in that last video. And, even zonking out, the game can't handle me. I'm too good at this game. I have played especially these first 3 Zelda games so much. I mean, shit. The first time I played through, when I was playing through Zelda 2, when I got to the final dungeon, the residual effects of beating that game so much, I almost beat the final dungeon on my very first attempt of that game. I did it on my second attempt, so, you know. There we go. Now I got the green to match Link. And let's go. Alright, we got the glove. It is time to get us... It's time to get us the flippers. Ooh! Style points. How does it feel? Yeah, we need to buy these flippers because they are 500 rupees, and we need to spend some rupees because I am too rich. I am the richest. There's no wallet upgrades in this game. $9.99 is the most I can get. Oh my god. Whoa. Bang! The fuck out of here. That's what you get, buddy. That's what you get. I missed the Y button. I was going to throw my boomerang at him. But I missed. The smell of rotten fruit. If you give me that mushroom, I can finish my brew. Hehe. Well, then we'll do that. Because then we can also go to Kakariko Village, and we will get something to... What's it called? Get a blue potion. Why not? Splurge a little bit. The whole point of not getting fairies is to actually make there be a reason for me to use rupees. And also to play, like, games and side things that I find. Which there's a little less of in these earlier Zelda games, but as I play through more of the series, that'll definitely be something I want to do. Especially for a lot of the Zelda games that I didn't give that attention to. Waterfall of Wishing is just around the corner. Somebody instructed us about a fairy behind there. Ooh, proper scum. Why would you do such a thing to me? Fuck you. Unfortunately, we cannot enter that waterfall. Excuse me. Oh, it doesn't pop up in the same place. There's the waterfall they're talking about, but I cannot go in there because I do not have flippers. You cannot go in that deep water. So, we're going to go back to the Zora people and go get one. We are going to get them by antagonizing their entire race of people. In their home, no doubt. And even kill a few of them. clearly this this King Zora does not give a fuck about his people. It's this one, right? Yes, it is. Okay. Fuck you. Yep, here we are. Splat, 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 splat. Rise. What do you want, little man? Do you have something to ask me? Give me the flippers. 500. Let's use the magic waterways that us sea folk use. Or did he say river folk? I don't know what he called himself. All right, and now we got the flippers, and now we can also get another. What's it called? We can also get ourselves another bottle with this, which I can do that. I can do that. I could also go to the thing in the middle of Lake Hylia to get more bombs and arrows. You have to give rupees for that, though. Ooh, just straight up missed the sword button. I don't think I ever need more arrows in this game, ever. But having like 20 bombs would be pretty righteous. Not gonna lie. Double the amount of bombs that I got now would be cool. Now, one thing that we get to do, though, and this is not the safest thing to get, but we have a couple things we can get here. One, if you have an empty bottle, you can throw an empty bottle in there because, you know, you can scroll through all the items. And if you notice, you can even throw your sword in there. Now, that's not going to do anything now, but you should definitely keep that in mind. You throw your puny shield in here. Brum, 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 brum. Did you drop this? Yes. I like an honest person. I will give you something better in return. Now we can defend against fireballs now. Not just arrows, but now fireballs. So our first instance of new drip. We got new drip, ladies and gentlemen. It has begun. And we're also going to throw in our boomerang. Because doing that will yield us Broom, 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 broom. Yep, just tell her you did. You're an honest person. Now we got the magic boomerang, which will go farther distances. And faster, too. Alright. Magic boomerang is nice. Honestly, just like the original game, there are kind of times where, due to the speed or the length of the screen that it will travel, there are some times where you kind of wish that or maybe not. Maybe it is. I don't know about this game. I don't know if there's any ever. Because I know in the first one there were times where it's like, you know, the. Oh, I think it was just because of the speed. This one at least travels. It feels like it travels faster. That's the difference here. Because in the first game, sometimes you were like, yeah, in the first Zelda, sometimes use your magic boomerang, and it's like, honestly, the distance that it travels, sometimes it's just easier if it would just have been short range. Oh, I think she said lady in the shop has it. Right, right, right. Yeah. And now we're back. Magic powder. Magic powder. Hit 'em with that anthrax, yeah. All right, let's see. Bow. Zero chance. All right. I want. I want. I think this I can pretty much do. I think I know everything that you can do between areas in the early part of the game. You fucking came up quick on that screen, buddy. I don't like the way that you were fucking coming up on me like that. Alright. Oh, wait, no, I can't do that until I get magic mirrors at the end of the game. Ooh! Trying to fucking shoot me. Ass face. Yeah, top it, pop it, pop it. So, gotten to see a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm not gonna lie, though it does look better than Breath of the Wild from what I've seen so far. I haven't played it. I don't own it. But I've seen people play it just because I know the only times I'm going to be playing these for a while is probably just going to be for this channel. Not going to lie, because there's just so much. This is my main way of playing video games, so I'm probably not going to be playing future Zelda titles because I kind of want my first replay a lot of these games to be here. So, realistically, I'm probably not going to play Tears of the Kingdom for fucking years to come at this point. Dick face. Fuck you. But watching what I've seen of Breath of the Wild, it looks marginally better than Breath of the Wild. And by marginally, what I mean is that they solved one of the problems of Breath of the Wild that I had, which was the dungeon theming. Now, I haven't actually seen any of the dungeons, so I don't know how good the theming still is, but I have at least heard that the dungeons are proper themed. So that part is nice. I have not heard about how I have not heard about how much of in dungeon threats there are. Knowing that would be nice. Because one of the problems that I did have with Breath of the Wild is that within the dungeons, there was no real dungeon threats. Like, yeah, they did contain more traditional Zelda puzzles in them, but without the monster threat, it only felt half-cocked doing it that way. And, very clearly, I would have liked them to have made there to be a little more things to be worried about in the dungeons, especially when there's enemies all over the overworld that if you're not using like potions and shit and you're not like what I would call needlessly shrine hunting, there's a lot of fucking there's train of thought lost. There's a lot of God damn it. Let's gamble real quick. Do a little gamblerino. All right, make our money back. We'll do it one more time. We made our money back. Why not? But, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Nice. As long as you're not needlessly, like, shrine hunting and getting a bunch of hearts, a lot of enemies that are in the overworld can do a significant amount of damage to you if you don't block or if you're not using a potion at the time. Like something to, boost up your endurance or whatever. So, to see that they didn't add any of that to the dungeons is really a bummer. Ooh, wait. I can't go in. I need the hammer. I don't know why I thought I could get this earlier. See, I'm I don't remember everything here. Move, chickie. I mustn't harm you. Fuck out of here. Why are you trying to get hurt? Why are you trying to get hurt, chicken? Let's see. Let's see what the fortune lady says. Obviously, I know where we gotta go, but I'm interested to see what they say. A true hero will find the moon pearl in the mountain tower. Yeah, that is an important item to get in the next dungeon. Because the dungeon item isn't required like for the actual dungeon itself, that is one that I know a lot of people who've played this game the first time, that is a treasure that sometimes people miss. So I mean, if it will definitely be a lesson for a new Zelda fan, is what that will be. um Dungeon number 5 in this game is an ice dungeon that is a real pain in the ass, that will teach, at least in my mind, will very much teach you how to use the map in the game. Like, it will, in the franchise, it will teach you, like, map is key. And the maps make all Zelda games easier. Zelda 2, obviously, so far in the series, has not been the, has been the one that doesn't have a map. But I would argue that those dungeons, even the later dungeons, the final dungeon can be obviously harder, but I would say most of those dungeons are small enough that they shouldn't be super hard to navigate. As long as you're, a little bit older and you can like kind of memorize how shapes go. But, I would say even on paper they're not that big, you know. I would say what Zelda 2 would teach you how to do is be very systematic about the way you handle dungeons. Definitely one of the philosophies I have with dungeons, in at least the classic dungeons, is that you want to try to look everywhere that you can before continuing. Ooh, excuse me. But like, if I'm, if I have, especially at the beginning of a dungeon, if you have a whole bunch of stuff open to you, explore everywhere that you can. Any keys you find, don't use them yet. Explore everywhere that you haven't explored. Explore everywhere that you can. Gather as many keys as you can. Explore every nook and cranny. If anything changes in the dungeon and you can, like, there's areas that it clearly wants you to go back to, like the water temple in Ocarina of Time, classic example. Um, when something changes in the dungeon, you want to make sure, again, you go back, you check everywhere that's available. Um, like the water temple will make you cycle through the dungeon a couple times because you can lower the water to, 0, 1, or 2 floors. And, there'll be a time where you get to the top and then it'll make you go back to the bottom. And then the same thing, you systematically check each and every direction. You got a new item, the long shot. So at that point you'll be like, okay, let me re-explore the dungeon. Let me re-go through any areas that I haven't been through. Nice and easy, lemon squeezy. Fuck out of here. Got ghosty friends. I know there's one in there. Just don't know if there's anything anywhere else. See how many we can do before we, until we get overwhelmed. Doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon here. Alright, I guess we had to be a little more over. first Zelda game where grave. No. The original grave robbing was also rewarded. Ignore me. So what's in this one? Oh yeah, this brings me to that what is now, especially because it expects you by the time you're doing this, the game expects you to have a few of these bad boys finally with you. Sweet. And now we can finally see what's in here, which is just small amounts of loot. Nothing crazy, but, you know, nice to get for free. Get some bombs. 300 rupees. Yeah, see? Now, obviously, you got to go back out through the rest of this, but, you know, 300 rupees, you know? 300. And plus, you're already right here by the entrance. I don't know why I thought you were you had to do the dark part still, but no, the dark part's over. Watch out, watch out. Plus, the rats have a good chance of giving you money. These guys are being a little stingy. There we go. Thank you. Alright, we're not going to fight all the fucking snakes this time, though. Unfortunately, I'm really good at this game, and I wouldn't need to use anything more than the... just confused. The fucking shit just opens. I just turn around like, what the fuck are you doing back in here? Link's like, don't worry about it. Okay, nothing in there. Haha, fuck you. Oh, is there anything else around here? Before I start to go up the mountains? Stop it. Go away. Ooh, I remember. There's a hole in here. I remember this. I remember this place. I remember what's in here, though. Just a regular old fairy? Cool. Sweet. Definitely 1-800. Am a fan. How long have we been playing for? 22 minutes. Woof, man. Where does the time fucking go, buddy? Alright, well, I know where we can get to before it's too late. Whee! I'm definitely not going to need all those anyway. I'll fill up my third bottle after the dungeon. Fuck you. Ooh, the other guy just disappeared and I didn't even kill him. Bummer. I was planning on murdering him myself. Yeah, beat it. I don't want to fight you anyway. We're going to get to where the last, there's not a save point, but a spawn point that you can get up on this mountain. And I definitely want to get that before we turn the game off. Get up, pop. What's up here, though? I forget what's up here. Oh, yeah, these fucking Goombas. Eat a dick. Alright. No more magic for a little bit. But yeah, no, at least the new Zelda game solved the theming part, but I don't know about the dungeon threat. And I know they're still following the same format as Breath of the Wild's dungeons, where it's like you have like objectives that you have to hit, and like you can access the boss once that's done. And that's not bad, but I don't know. I kind of prefer the path oriented aspect of the dungeons. I don't know why. It just it just feels more like how I want them to be. Especially if it's already given me a fucking open world sandbox style game, which I don't know what the difference is between open world and sandbox, so I'm just going to say both of them because I've heard it described as both of them, so I don't really know. But okay, yeah, golden power, yes. And you can outrun with this old man following you. You just move faster walking. His daughter's one of the. Well, I guess that would make him one of the. No, no, I guess that doesn't make him. That doesn't necessarily make him one of the wise men's descendants. He could have just married one of the descendants and had a child, and then obviously subsequently a grandchild. Well, hopefully he didn't have the grandchild. That would be weird. All right. If you want to remain a transporter, gaze into this. All right. Mirror's not going to do shit for a while. The moon pearl. Don't we like fall in here? Through some path in this dungeon? Or through this mountain? Is there anything in here that I want? There's just bats and single rupees. Is that what this game's about to hide in here? Thanks, dickface. Oh, fine. You put a 5th rupee in here. Cool. Okay, it just brings me out here. Okay, I see what it did. Woo! Fuck out of here. But yeah, they added now it's like elemental dungeons based on the area that you were in with all the tribes and everything, which makes sense, but they added a 5th one. I don't know if the 5th one is like at the end. I haven't heard that yet. I just know that there's a 5th dungeon which is like considered a spirit temple, or like I also heard is like some factory kind of shit or whatever. I would have liked them to, and it's the same thing that I said with Breath of the Wild, especially because they're using the same number. Okay, bro. I fucking get it. What's the sign say? Bath to Kakarikovic. Okay, that's not where we're trying to fucking go. But especially since they're using the same number for at least the dungeons related to the tribes that you come across in the Zelda game. I would have liked there to... Can I get that? I would like to get that. I would like very much to get that. Ooh, I'll take fucking those too. Fuck yes, I will. Eat dick. There's nothing I can do to get down there right now? No. Okay. So it is. But especially if they use that many dungeons, I would have liked them to have done kind of the a link between worlds method, which, if I'm not mistaken, in that game, you had... Fuck you. You had, now it wasn't broken half and half, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember if you could do the first 3 dungeons in any order. I don't remember that. But I do remember that you could do the I do remember that you could do in the light world, you were at one point given a choice between, I think, the second 2 dungeons. And then you had to go back and, like, kind of like this game, go back to the main castle. And finish up that part of the dungeon kind of the way that you do in this one. I believe. I don't remember if they make it a full dungeon in that. I don't know if it's just a boss battle. I don't remember exactly. But, and then it opens up into the dark world. I would have liked that again, even if it's just doing it half and half the way that this does. You know, I know it's the wind temple, lightning temple, fire temple, water temple for each of the 4 tribes. And whatever the 2 that it would have decided, I wish it would have just given 2 temples. Just say the fire and water. Just, okay, fire temple, water temple. Both of them are open right from whenever they become open. You can handle those 2 dungeons any order you want, explore the world, do as you would. But instead of all 4, only those 2 dungeons are available first. And then in this game, it has the Spirit Temple, whatever it's supposed to be. I don't know exactly when, or if it's just it's open right at the beginning too. It could be, but I would have liked there to have been 2 dungeons just made available from the beginning. Do it however you want to do it. Once both of those are complete, then you have the 3rd dungeon that you must complete is mandatory. The 3rd dungeon. Have it just be a regular dungeon, but have it be something that also has a little bit of plot elements to it. Something to kind of get you back into the mindset of, like, why you're doing what you're doing. Because, at least for me, I don't really care much about exploring in video games. So, exploring the world in and of itself is not a reason for me to play a game. And I mean, obviously, I could play Breath of the Wild. I could play it and completely 100% disregard the open world aspect and just do the story only. But then also, just if I'm thinking of it just as an artistic piece, now I'm... Did I go in here? Now I'm missing out on one of the... Oh yeah, this is how I exited it, right? Fuck you. Yeah, this is how I exited it. Okay, so if I go to the next one, that might be how I get out that one way. Blah, 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 blah. Sweet. But, yeah, there we go. You're a dickhead. But yeah, no, if I'm just like trying to think of it as like a piece of media that, you know, an artist made, you know, they when that open world is the main aspect of the game, I don't want to disregard that. Like, that's the whole reason for the piece. Not the whole reason, but like, it's like if you're watching a comedy movie and you're just like, all right, I'm going to watch this, but I'm going to disregard any of the jokes. And it's like, I mean, what? Link it as I, Sahasrara. You must somehow make your way to the top of Spectacle Rock. From there, you can reach the top of Tower of Hera on Death Mountain. Okay. I feel like I'm getting there. Taking a bit longer than I thought I would. I might still play Advance Wars after this, luckily. Play a little bit of everything tonight. But yeah, no, to know that the dungeon pattern or the dungeon setup is kind of the same, and all they really fixed was the theming. The world I knew was still going to be open, and ugh, I'm just, bro, I'm so sick of open world games. I'm so sick of them. Okay, nothing at all. Thanks. Alright, I think I've explored everything I can explore here. I should be able to get all the pieces of hearts by the end of this game. Alright, and we have, boom, Bunny Link. We are now Furry Link. Oh, who are you, Mr. Who are you, Mr. Bunny? This world is like the real world, but evil has twisted it. The golden power is what changes your shape to reflect what is in your heart and mind. I am always changing my mind, so I turn into a ball. But if you have a ball called the Moon Pearl, you can keep your original shape here. Oh yeah, we need that. What do you want? Do you have something to say to me, silly rabbit? I came here to get the power of gold, but now I'm a freak and I can't go back to the real world. If only I had the Moon Pearl from the Tower of Hera, I could go back to my original shape. I've got good reason to be stressed out, so back off, Shoo. Let me bully the fuck out of this thing. Alright, I think it was like right here. And now the teleportation gimmick fully starts. Well, not fully. Partially starts. I don't know why I said fully. Alright, and what's the secret to getting this? That's not what I wanted to do. Hold up the Master Sword and you will get the magic of Ether. So no magic until I get Master Sword. I will definitely come back and get that. But, and probably almost never use it. And there's the boundary for over here. No hammer. No that side of the mountain. Alright, and the Tower of Hera, here we are. Actually, fuck. This game doesn't allow me to restart in dungeons. So I came here for nothing. Well, that's it for the day. I'll just reappear on the mountain, I think. Let me see. What does happen? Yeah, no, it'll start me at the mountain cave. Alright, well, I still explored everything. I got that piece of heart. All exploration done that I can think of for now. Except I haven't really explored the portals in the waterway, but I don't think they take me anywhere. They just transport you places. But let's see, what else? But yeah, no, it's because open world games tend to just be very story loose. I just wish they just offered still an open world element, but just a little more structure. Just have a middle dungeon that's like a mandatory gathering place to where, you could do fire temple, water temple, fire temple. And then you do the mandatory dungeon, which I think in this game would be like the spirit temple. And then wind temple, thunder temple, open, do them however you want, and then finale. To me, that would be a little better to where you can still incorporate an open world aspect, but still have a little bit more story in there. Because I'm not going to lie, I barely remember Breath of the Wild. I know I beat it, but of all the Zelda games I've beaten, that one left the least amount of impact on me. So it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but just because there's not a lot of story elements to it, it's a little different when it's these games that are a little older, where like it's almost due to the restraints. But as soon as Ocarina of Time hit, that was the first one where they were able, like, 2, 3, 4, Link's Awakening. Those Zeldas had stories, but it was a little more sparse. It's involved. There's still a plot, and you're still doing things related to it, but it's not as story heavy. But that feels more like a product of the time. With this, or with Breath of the Wild, it's more just an aspect of the kind of game that it is. And I'm just not a huge fan of those games. So I would like them to at least make it like a halfway point. I'm glad they at least solved the dungeon theming. I wish they would have made the actual dungeons more old school dungeons. And I mean, one of the things that I love watching, before I go, is I love watching people who, what is it? I guess, we'll say, DB Geek. is, he's a pretty huge YouTuber. Anybody that finds me should obviously know who the fuck he is. But his first Zelda game was Breath of the Wild. Like a lot of people, like right now, especially who are like doing online content. And then when you watch people who Breath of the Wild is their first experience, and obviously they're gonna love it because it's a modern game. It still appeals. The open world appeals to a lot of people for a reason. It just doesn't appeal to me, but it appeals to a lot of people. And watching them play through the game and enjoy it and play through the dungeons, they enjoy them. And then when you watch them play through any other Zelda game after that, and then they see a proper Zelda dungeon, almost every single person is like, oh, this is what those fans mean when they say the dungeons need improvement. These are way fucking better. Almost everybody says they're better. Now, the world aspect and how you interact with it, yeah, that could give or take. Personally, I mean, I wouldn't even say Skyward Sword is not even top 5 Zelda for me. But I'll take Skyward Sword over Breath of the Wild any day. You know, obviously Skyward Sword's not top 5 because its pacing is, a little doo-doo cheeks. But in concept, I will take a linear, more story-based game over one that's more exploration-based. Like it just doesn't do as much for me. And though I get it, I get what a lot of people like. I would just like a little bit less of it. The only OG Zeldas that we've been getting have been all remakes. And that's all well and good. And HD shits, that's all well and good. But I would like to see a Zelda made with older sensibilities and older elements. Especially because, I mean, we haven't had any new Zeldas since Breath of the Wild. I mean, and who knows? Maybe that's because this is how Zeldas are just going to be from now on. Maybe this is it. And, I guess if it is, then, I mean, we'll just see what improvements they make. I mean, I enjoy the franchise. I'm going to stick with it. It's my favorite. And though I wouldn't say Breath of the Wild is as good as some of the open world games. Ooh, sorry, got the chills there. I wouldn't say it's as good as some of the open world games that I truly enjoy, which would really only be Fallout New Vegas. At least like loving them for like their open world element. Fallout New Vegas, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. I wouldn't say Assassin's Creed Black Flag is to me the best Assassin's Creed game, but I would say as like an open world game, that game utilizes it better than most, to me, for how I like games. I think I 100%ed that game, that anything non-DLC related. I think I did everything in that game. Everything that you could do aside from that. That was a fine one. For thinking newer ones. And then that's really it. But Breath of the Wild comes in like a close third for its open world aspect. It's just not a style of game that I enjoy. It's just not for me. But, I'll get there eventually. I'm enjoying the journey, just getting through the Zelda games again. On top of everything else that we got to play. But yeah, next time I'll come back. It'll be Tower of Hera time, and definitely getting that Master Sword. So I'll see you guys then. Peace.